Your online presence. What is online presence? Right, let's start from there. Essentially, it is what captures, it is the embodiment of who you are that is available to people via the internet. Pretty much, that is your online presence. It is your brand. Always think of yourself as a brand. The certain things that Coca-Cola would not want to be associated with. There's certain things that Ford will not want to be associated with. There's certain things that, let's say, Zenith Bank will not want to have their name next to. And so it's important that you see yourself as a brand. Linder is a brand. The moment you think of Linder as a brand, it will impact how Linder shows up online. It will impact how you project yourself online. Omolaya is a brand. You're not just a name, you're a brand. Alan is a brand, right? If I have a friend who decides to take a picture and the friend is doing something stupid and they want me in that picture, I am not joining that picture. I don't care who you are. I don't know where you're going to put the picture. You may never put it anywhere, but the fact that I know that this is some shenanigans, I will not be in your picture. That's guaranteed. Think of yourself as a brand, right? Are you following me? And so as Omalai, if someone says, hey, let's do this together, like, is that a brand? Is that something that enhances me? Is that an image that makes me look like a professional? And so it is the existence of a person or brand that can be found via a search engine, different search engines, right? Google, very popular, probably the biggest one, Bing, several others. But if someone can find something about you, yes, that's your online presence. That's a reflection of who you are. Now, that may not be you. That may not be you, but that's what a potential employer will take away from you. Now, I do have just four different platforms on here because this tend to be the biggest culprits, right? If you've got TikTok, do you want to just type TikTok in the comment section? If you have TikTok, just type in TikTok real quick. Come on, you have to be engaged. Don't be a boring um, what you call it, a boring crowd here. Okay, I see Lovett has TikTok. Cool, cool. I'm not going to ask you if you're dancing on TikTok. It's fine. So blink once if you've been dancing on TikTok. Just blink once. Okay. Just once, not twice. Okay. TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X, as it's currently called, Instagram. These are the biggest culprits out there because it gives people not just a sentence or paragraph about you, it gives them an opportunity to assess you as a person, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And so when we talk about your online presence and you're talking about landing certain opportunities outside of Nigeria, it is important that you understand your online presence and you guard it jealously. Very important. Keep in mind that the audience that you're looking to engage with may not understand certain cultural peculiarities that we have. Okay, so I once told somebody the other day, when you put something on Facebook that says, that party was mad, we scattered the place, right? What does that mean? What is your interpretation? Now, if you're a job seeker or if you're an employer and you go on Facebook and you search for Joseph, and then you see Joseph say something like, that party was mad, we scattered the place. If you're a Nigerian employer, what's your interpretation? If you're a foreign employer, what's your interpretation? Anybody, feel free to drop in the chat. So if you want to just speak up, how would you interpret seeing something that says We scattered the party. I see Joseph is typing. If you're unable to type, feel free to talk.
A party rider.
Okay, you're a party rider. Okay. I need one more person, and I'll give you. Thank you. Favor said, as a Nigerian, I will say they enjoyed the party and had fun. Great. Now, let me give you what will be the American interpretation of that simple post. And Joseph just landed it. It's going to be the same interpretation of American employer as well as a UK-based employer, London-based employer. I lived in London for a few years myself. So it says, Joseph captures it here. It says, as a Nigerian employer, I will assume that Joseph had fun at the party. Perfect. There's nothing wrong with having fun. But as a foreign employer, I will assume that Joseph caused some violence. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Because when you say scatter to a foreign employer, that's like, oh, so Joseph went to the party. He got mad. So the party was mad to us in Nigeria means the party was lit. It was fun. It was exciting. To a foreign person, it's like, oh, okay, somebody got mad at the party, and Joseph took it upon himself to get violent. And unfortunately, these are the kind of things that we see. And so keep in mind that what is available out there, perception is reality. It's social media, it's a fake world. However, perception is what reality. That's what it is. And so, what does your online presence say about you? The different ways in which this come together. So, number one, let's say online articles. If you've written an article, I'll give you an example. One of my buddies, he's in DC, and he's actually from Benin. His name is Wilson, and he was a senior special advisor to Obama about 2 years before Obama's tenure ended as the president of the United States. And in the process of him getting the appointment, no kidding, in the process of him getting that appointment, he had to go through security clearance, right? And he called me and said, and the Secret Service folks that were handling his file, they came to him and pulled up an article that he wrote when he was still in college. And in that article, yeah, and this dude moved to the US in 2000 and I think late 2003 or so, right? So keep that in mind. And he said in that article that he wrote, he had talked about the need for a revolution in Nigeria so as to restart the process of nation building. One article. This dude is a graduate of Princeton. This dude also graduated with his master's from Harvard. All these years after, works at the World Bank. And then he's about to get an appointment as a senior special advisor to Barack Obama. And one thing almost cost him that job. One article where he was talking about the corruption of Nigerian politicians and the need for a revolution. And so guess what the Secret Service people were holding on to? Anybody wants to guess? Feel free to talk. Feel free to chat. What do you think the Secret Service people were holding on to? What do you think was the conclusion they were trying to draw about this guy? Brilliant mind. Princeton. Yeah, go ahead. Someone was saying something.
More
They
like
saw him as a
political.
radical. Go ahead.